Let's check out social media stocks. Alright guys, so I've got some social media stocks that I want to look at. Now there's probably more that we can have in this list, but I kind of like to keep them reasonably compact, because if I'm going to trade these, I want to know these inside and out. I'm not going to trade these every day. They're not a daily trading vehicle for me. However, if I can look at a basket of stocks, small basket, start to get a feel for them, start to understand how they move, start to understand the patterns relative to the market, then there's opportunity. So I've got 4 in my basket. I've got Twitter, we're all familiar with Twitter. I've got Snapchat, I've got Facebook, and I've got Pinterest. So let's have a look at some of these stocks. Now Twitter's had a really funny ride. It really has struggled to get back to its highs, and the issue they have is monetizing the platform. We had a very nice bounce off this low back in 2017, 2018. You know, it's done well, but it's really got no traction. But it's one of those ones that gaps so much on earnings. It's such an earnings-based story stock. I mean, you can just see what earnings labels here on TradingView. And almost every time, without fail, there's been some significant gap, which it really tells you that they're trying to get traction still. And I think that if they can get traction, if they can monetize it, it's a good platform. I think it's a good platform. I think they just have to find a way of, using it. A lot of people use it for breaking news. How do they monetize that? How do they monetize companies using it as a support mechanism? A lot of companies using it for customer support. Is that an angle? I think they're still finding their feet. So for me, it's one of those that is worth watching if they really get a grip. And this reminds me a little bit of Facebook, back when Facebook was trying to monetize mobile. It really struggled, the same kind of thing. It struggled. How can they monetize mobile? They found a way of doing it, and since then it hasn't looked back, and they've just basically dominated because everyone's wanted to use their platform for ads. But let's go back to Twitter quickly before we do any analysis on Facebook. So Twitter, we've kind of based out here. I will be looking to see, there's a gap here, and again, it's going to depend on when you've watched this video as well, but look to see generally how gaps perform. So do they get filled? What happens when they get filled? What happens at key levels? That's going to be the key, because even though we filled this gap here, we couldn't take out the prior high, we rolled lower. People aren't that excited by it. They aren't that excited. So I think something revolutionary has got to come out. I think something interesting has got to come out from it. I think they've got to reframe the way that they charge people. The ads aren't that great, so do they charge consumers? I don't know. I don't think they can charge consumers, do they charge businesses? But it's one to watch, definitely one on my watch list. Facebook is a little bit less interesting for me. It's had its good fun, but what I want to say with Facebook is, I think, and I could be proven wrong by here, it's purely speculation. I will trade it if it happens, but I'm not going to position for it, that Facebook may get into trouble with the whole data thing. They're doing a lot of things which are, they're walking the line. They gather a lot of data. They're using a lot of data. They seem to have a lot of scandals to get away with. My feeling is that might come to fruition at some point, come to a head really at some point, and may well hit the platform. The user base is fine, people are still advertising on it, fine. They've bought Instagram as well, and Instagram is just booming. That was a great purchase for them. So fundamentally, probably all okay. I think they can keep bringing people into the platform, even though Facebook seems to be not quite as popular. But regardless of that, I think the data thing is one to watch with this. The news related to how they're using the data, there was a little bit of an issue where they were kind of using data that startups were using for their own benefit to make their own small products. Now, again, speculation, I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if some sort of scandal comes out now. So that's the kind of thing I'm watching for with that. Now, Snapchat. Snapchat's a funny one. Who uses Snapchat? It seems to be a specific demographic. You've got competing platforms like TikTok coming out. One thing I think that Wall Street might have wrong is that there's one winner. I think when I see younger people using social, they use a specific platform for a specific thing. So they're using TikTok for this, they're using Snapchat for that, they're using Instagram for that, using Facebook for that, whatever it may be. So they have multiple platforms that they're using all of them. So that might be something that the street is not considering. They might be thinking, well, there's going to be one leader. And yes, Facebook come out with stuff trying to kill Snapchat and this and that and the other, but I think that might not be as important moving forward. But anyway, Evan Spiegel seems to be a switched on guy. Let's see where he does with Snapchat moving forward. Right, so the other social stock, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. The other one's Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is an interesting one. This is a very specific demographic, tends to be female orientated, posting, or I believe, I don't use it myself, it's a picture kind of gathering where people put pictures and cluster it into themes they like. So for example, you might have living room decorations, and then the other hand you might have flower arrangements, or you might have nice cars or something, and you have a collection and put it on there. And I believe that actually it's coming into its own as a little bit of an e-commerce platform, because people are able to buy the stuff they like. Again, monetizing is super, super key. We had the IPO not so long ago, so it's a relatively new company in terms of public, and a bit of a rocky ride. A big ramp up, struggled. So let's see. IPO will be the line in the sand, or at least the opening price, and whatever the IPO price was, probably down here somewhere, will be the line in the sand. And let's see what happens. Let's see, very much going to be based on earnings, monthly users, how they're monetizing the platform, whether they're getting attacked from some of the other big boys. But again, I think if they've carved out a niche, they've carved out people who are using it regularly, and they can monetize that. It's just a case of where they've got the innovation to be able to do that. So those are my 4 that I'm watching, guys. Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Pinterest. If you've got any others you think are worth watching, stick them in the comment section below. Take care. Bye-bye.